Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to start assembling the Sinister and Robotron cabinet. First thing I want to do though is take this joystick handle out, sand it down, and get it painted red. We're going to use automotive paint. So these are pretty easy to take off. I know 90% of the people are afraid of E-clips for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, you just take the E-clip out of the bottom. Plastic washer. Okay, and then there's a second E-clip right there that you need to get to, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt on these unless you take the joystick all apart. Let's see if I can get lucky. The only way I'm gonna get lucky is if I take both, get two screwdrivers. But I'm gonna take it apart. Spent a lot of time on the silver ball cabinet. I'll show it to you guys in a minute. Probably a good half of my day, a little bit longer than I wanted to do on it, but I'm like 90% ready to clear that thing. So a little bit tomorrow on it and it'll be ready for clear. I'm just trying to get some of the stuff out of my shop. Been looking at it too long, time for it to move on. Okay, so now we'll take this bottom plate off. Take out these spacers. Pop the circuit board out. Then we have four smaller spacers, but those can stay on. That's not a big issue. So now we can get to the E-clip. All right, came off. There it is. Got our bushing, and then we could take this off with these two Phillips screws and we can paint that black. We'll just do that with the spray can. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this handle, put it into my drill press so I can scuff up the plastic, and I also wanna clean the rust off the bottom. Where is the key for the drill press? There it is. You can do this on a regular hand drill too. You don't have to have a drill press. This is actually 150 grit, so that I can get the rust off the metal. 350 again. 320. Since I'm clearing it, because I'm painting the ball red, I'm just going to put clear on the top part of the shaft so that it doesn't rust again. Grab a scratch spray pad. Okay, now we can paint this red and then put some clear on it. I'm going to wipe it off with some lacquer thinner, but look at how nice these shafts come out when you do that. They turn out awesome. And you can polish them too and put wax on them, and they will stay good for a long while. Since, like I said, since I'm clearing the ball top, I'll just take the tape down to here when I go to do the clear and just clear that part too. So let's take a look real quick here at the silver ball cabinet. As you can see, this side is just about done. Looks just like the other side. The front is extremely hard, and you know why? Is because almost all the artwork was missing from here down and over to the middle. So I had to recreate that, and I've gotten it pretty close. I still got to do a little bit more fine tuning with it, but it's not too far off. I might have made that lady a hair fatter than that lady, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I might have to bring the blue in a little bit on the front of her leg right there. But yeah, it's looking really, really good. So hopefully tomorrow I can clear this and get this bottom part of the cabinet out of here this week, and then I'll work on the head and get that in the basement, and then I'll be working on the Playboy cabinet so I can get that out of here and in the basement while working on these two. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set up, and we're gonna put some paint on this handle. Okay, I'm gonna take some lacquer thinner, put it on a towel, and wipe this down really good. Get any hand grease or anything that was on this from the years and years of being used off of it. You can use spray paint too. Automotive paint is a little bit tougher. And when you use the lacquer thinner on the ball top, it does make it sticky, okay? And you want that, because what happens then is your paint really adheres to it. So what I'm gonna do now is take a piece of tape like this. Actually, I'm gonna do it the other way. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna put a piece of tape down here, okay? Then I'm gonna take a piece of tape, go around the top, so that after I get the red on it and the red's dry, I can come back and peel this piece off so I can put clear on the upper shaft. The rest of the shaft wasn't rusty, just the upper part. So now that I got that, I'm gonna go out there and hang that up, and I'm gonna see what I have for red paint. Okay, I have some Performance Red from Summit Racing. Use the baby cup here. Gotta clean up my bench in here now. Jesus. Must be clear stuck on it. God. This is what happens when you let clear dry, automotive clear. See that? Then you can just take that and throw it in the garbage. It's no longer a threat to the environment because it's now a solid. When it's a liquid, it could tip over. It could, pour into the ground and contaminate the ground. And when it's like this, you don't have to worry about that. But that's what clear looks like, automotive clear, when it's really thick. It's funny because it's gummy when it's real thick like that. Watch, see? But when it's thin layers, you don't have that issue. What will happen over time is this will cure this thick, but when it cures, when it's this thick, it'll end up cracking. But I figured I'd show you that real quick. So we're gonna put a little bit of red in here. We don't need a lot. And the red should cover pretty quick because we're going over orange, so we're not really much off on the color to begin with. So the red, in theory, should cover really fast over the orange. New one, old one. All right. Go out there and put that red on. No boy. 3 coats of clear just to give it plenty of protection so it lasts a long, long time. All right, I got the Sinister and Robotron spun around and moved over. I got to go in the house and grab some standoffs for the circuit board so that we can mount those. These are the J-Rock boards that are always out of stock at Arcade Shop. He gets them, as soon as he gets them, they are gone. So we're just going to mount the J-Rock board on each cabinet right here, where the old power supplies used to go, and the soundboard. So we're just put them both in that area. Put the power supply on the bottom. I think I have a power brick for one of the two, but I don't think I'm going to use it because I think I'm just going to. I got to go see if I have a couple isolation transformers for the monitors. Not sure that I have those. I'm not sure. I got to go look. I think I have at least one. Might have to order another one. I thought I ordered some, but I might not have. But anyways, I got to go grab some parts from the house. I do have quite a bit of them here. We're going to use these. I use these cheaper Molex connectors. I don't know if they're cheaper, but you can get this big kit on Amazon, and they're more of like a speaker terminal style. And I use these for the coin door, or for the coin door and the control panel, just because I have a bunch of them. Actually, I'm starting to run out of them, but anyways, we'll use these for those. It's a 9-pin. I only have 2 9-pins left, and then I have some smaller ones. Thought I had more than that. I got some 6-pins, so we should be fine. Just make them in a couple of them per side. Not a big deal. So yeah, I think I'm gonna grab dinner and then come back out here and start putting these things together. Before I head up there, I'm gonna actually take this off and just lightly sand it and spray it with some black spray paint so it can dry the same time that the joystick handle is drying. And then when it's time to put it together, everything will be ready to go. See, there's a bearing in here and stuff, bushing, and like it almost looks like a plumbing ferrule, but thicker. But that's your pivot point. This is in actually really good shape. Problem is if you don't put a coat of paint on it and it sticks through the control panel and it looks like that, you just made your whole control panel kind of look crappy because of that. So just scuff it up real quick. Throw a little black on it. Doesn't have to be crazy. This isn't rusty or anything like that. Get our matte black here. That's all there is to it. I'm going to let it dry for a couple minutes. I'm going to put one more coat on it, and then I'm going to go do what I got to do, and then I'll be back out here. All right, guys. I had a couple isolation transformers, and then I grabbed these standoffs, these little legs for the PCB, so we can get those mounted. I actually got to grab my drill. I thought I had my drill over here. Actually, I don't even know if I have my impact in here. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But let's start mounting some of this stuff in there. Let me go grab a drill. All right. I got to figure out on the Sinistar. I think you have to use this this 49-way pin, which I'll have to get. I think I have a plug that'll fit in that. I'm not positive, but I think I do. I'll have to look up the schematics on how to wire that because I am not sure. Buy these kits on Amazon. I don't know how much they are. They're not huge money. Yeah, these little J-Rock boards kick butt. They really do work good. Tomorrow I'm going to be clearing the silver ball cabinet, working on these again. And this game's going to boot right to Sinistar. Robotron will boot right to Robotron. You'll never know. You can get away with just 2 of those. I like to put all 4. Keeps them from twisting back and forth. Makes them nice and secure. Now these are better quality harnesses. They sell some real cheap ones. I believe these came from Arcade Shop. I think. Could be wrong. I'm not positive. But they have nice pins and everything on them. They're not junk. And a JAMA harness, where the slit is, that's always where your power side goes. So your black, your red, your green is negative, your yellow is 12 volts. So that'll go there. This is your monitor. This is power to our power supply. This is to our controls. And the white is your speaker. Get the speaker sorted out here. Okay, let's see here. The player 1 on a jammer harness is the one that has the ground wires attached to it. Player 2 does not. You have to jump it over from player 1 to player 2. So here is our speaker wires, or the white and black stripe. Obviously, some jammer harnesses might be different than others. And the black and green, those are for coin, I believe. We don't need those. We're actually going to eliminate those. We have the other, let me double check here. Let me think here. Do we need those? Yeah, I'd like to hook up the coin, but I believe this is coin right here. Let me double check. It's been a while since I've done a jammer harness. I don't do them very often anymore, so I better double check. Coin, green. Yep, 2 greens are coin. We have 1 green here. Okay, we'll just use the 1 coin. We don't need to have both. So I'm going to take these wires that we're not going to use, and I'm actually going to cut them back here. Okay, these are my speakers. So what I'm going to do with these now, and I'm going to grab my drill. I'm going to fold over the wire like that. Okay? Stick it in my drill. Pull it tight. Might be a little too long for me. A little long for me, so I couldn't hold it as good as I normally would. Guess the other one I should probably do on the bench with the vise. Then I won't have it tangle up on me. That's okay, we got it. So now these are twisted together. I'm going to run them up this side of the cabinet. I'm going to put a clamp there to take the weight off of the end of the connector. You always want to do that on a jammer harness, is where that first zip tie is, put a clamp clamp it to the cabinet. That takes all that heavy weight of the whole harness off of that edge connector. And pull it. Not super tight, just enough to keep the pressure off of it. I got my mud boots on because it's all icy outside and snowy, and even though I'm using a JAMA harness, I don't want to rush through it. I just want to take my time, do a really nice wiring job. Drop the screw 72 times, because that's fun. Okay, that'll go that way towards the speaker. I can actually loosen that clamp up and put these into it. These are the monitor RGB. We will have to change the plug end on that. That's okay. So that's going to go to the monitor. That's up to our speaker. Okay, now these wires go to our power supply, and the skinny yellow wire on here should be 12 volts, which will go to our coin door lights right here, and then our green is going to be our coin, and then black's going to be our ground. So that's going to go that way. Let's see. Once I get this thing routed, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other one. Just going to match it so they look the same. power. Test switch, ground for the test switch. Take that out of here. Don't know why they wire it like that. Take that out. And I'm gonna run it with the coin door ones that way. Swear to God, I hear somebody talking outside. See what's going on. I don't know, it's like 8 o'clock at night. Ouch. I gotta see if, I gotta look up and see if the, that board, if it needs -5. I don't know that it does, to be honest with you. I can't, I mean, I haven't put one of these boards in a couple of years. Let's shake it, Chris, here. Arcade Shop should have the file on this. I gotta look it up anyways because we need to figure out the wiring for the joystick. So let's go to game PCB and multi-game kits, JAMA PCBs. Right here, Williams. Oh, it's in stock, guys. Anybody looking for a multi-Williams, it's in stock right now. Don't take long to decide if you want one because it'll be gone again for a couple weeks. Setup instructions. All right. 49-way joystick. If you're under 4.75 volts, the board will suspend and remain in reset mode, just so you guys know. Okay, there's my pinout for my 49-way. I'm just seeing if, I don't know if it says anything about -5. A lot of times on older games, obviously this is not older, they'll use -5 for sound, but I don't know that we need it for this. I'm just gonna plug it in. It doesn't say anything. I don't think it'll matter. So now the important thing is here is I want to see how long my wires are. That'll determine where my power supply is going to mount. That means this is going to mount right there, just like that. I gotta see if I have power switches. So these can go over to the control panel. They're going to go in their own wire, whatever the heck you call these things. Clamp, wire clamp. No, I just spilled all my screws. I don't use electrical tape. I know a lot of people do. Those over where they need to go. We have the power going where it needs to go. Let's grab an isolation transformer. $115 volts. Okay. that's mounted. I think I have power switches. Okay, we're gonna twist a blue and a black together. Of course, I tangled it because why wouldn't I? Longer than I need. That's okay. Stand way back here. These are 14 gauge wire. Got a nice tight braid. Okay, so what we're gonna do is grab my solder gun. I'm gonna have to get another switch from in the house. I only had this, one of the two games must not have had a switch in it. That should be off. Let me think here. See if I bring the power into here. Yeah, this way would be on. Off is that way. Okay. Just plastic on here. So I'm going to use black coming from the wall. Okay. That's going to be going into the switch. Some old wire stuck on here, I can't get it off. Wow, it's impressive. Just keeps going around and around. Okay. All right, so what I'm doing is the black wire coming from the wall is going to come up into the switch, okay? When you hit the switch, coming out of the switch is going to be the blue. The blue is going to now go and feed the line in on the power supply, okay? And that's the easiest way. Basically, you're just interrupting the wire. So let's just say that this is a single wire, okay? And the single wire is going from the cabinet and this side's plugging into the wall. We're just cutting it and putting a switch between it. And that's all it's doing is just interrupting the power. It's the simplest and easiest way to put a switch in. I gotta screw that in. Oh, my soldering gun's on. I'm gonna turn that off. Melt a bunch of stuff. reach it. Got it. Let the mess begin. Ah, shoot. We'll have to run another wire. That's okay. We need another power wire for the marquee light. Could have ran it all in one harness, but that's all right. When you're twisting wire, always make your wire longer than you need because you're going to waste quite a bit of it twisting it together. These are going to be the wires that are going to run up to the marquee light. Get my wire strippers so I don't get yelled at. Why you don't use wire strippers? Probably should have did them all first. Crimped them all first and then heated them. power supply actually does not have a 5 volts negative. Cut that off. So we have our red goes to 5 volts positive. Black obviously goes to ground. Yellows are 12. That's scary. Done that out of the way. Okay. You know what? I'm going to wait to do that. That's just going to cause me a problem. What's going to mount there? Make these about that length there. So that's going to go there. Oh shoot, the black goes to the wall outlet. Don't need a terminal on the black one. That was a waste of a terminal, that's all right. So that's going to go to that. This is going to go to 12. These two are going to go to 12. Let's see here, what kind of length we have. I can cut some off of this. This is going to go from the isolation transformer to the isolation transformer from the power supply. So basically using the power supply as like the lug where everything comes together at. So once the switch is turned on, the power comes down the blue wire, which energizes the power supply, which energizes the monitor and the marquee light. And I need another crimp connector. I thought I had one more over here. Must not have. All right, maybe I'll grab one more of those. Can't even see what I'm doing. glue is going to go to L for line. With my black, and the black for the other one. Okay, I'm going to grab a power cord. So our white wire is going to go to our power supply. So our neutral. Our green wire is going to go to our power supply. That's our ground from the wall. Shoot. That's all right. Okay, so our white is going to go with the other two whites. Am I confusing you guys yet? Oh, you know what? I gotta shrink these. Still need another end. This ground wire, I'm going to take it up from the power supply, which comes out of the wall plug into the power supply. It's going to come out of the power supply, and I'm going to take it to the frame of the monitor. So that the frame of the monitor is grounded to the outlet of the house. I could connect all the wires together and put a real big end on it. I like to leave them separate, because if something happens and you want to just replace one wire or something, it's a lot easier than having to cut everything. Okay, now that is going to go to my monitor frame. This is coming in from the wall. So now that this is coming in from the wall, we need to connect these two black wires together. So once these two black wires are connected, when this is plugged into the wall, the line, which is your power, is going to come through the black wire, go right up to that switch. You're going to flip that switch on. It's going to send the line power back down the blue wire, which will turn on your power supply, okay? And it will also turn on your isolation transformer, and then your power supply itself will turn on, which will then in turn turn on your circuit board. Oh, it's a pain in the butt. The only thing bad about wearing these boots is it pulls your pants down when you bend over because the pants are inside the boots. Ow! Hit my head. Why does this have to be such a pain in the ass? Oh, I said ass. There goes another subscriber. Another Karen's gonna leave. out. This has got to run up this side. My key light. Takes time, guys. Wiring just takes time. If you want it to look nice and be done right and always be able to trace it, there's no fast way to do it. These wires are going to probably screw me when the monitor goes in. I'll just probably cut the board down a hair, make it easier. Oh. Now we have those going up. Everything's hooked into the power supply. Now we need to run power to the isolation transformer, and then from the isolation transformer to the monitor itself. So we need a black and white wire going to the monitor. Okay, this will bolt to the monitor frame. Obviously the other cabinet I'm going to wire off camera. I'm not going to do the same thing twice in a row. This is our power going into the isolation transformer. Which on these ones, it goes in the bottom. You probably want to check to make sure that yours is that way. They could be different. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably shouldn't have screwed that in yet. Solder tip is dirty. Okay, now we have power going to it. Now we need power coming out of it. I'm actually going to go in the house here soon, play a couple games of darts, and probably Golden Tee. I haven't played it in a while. Okay. Okay. So we have all our power done in here now. We have our isolation transformer hooked up, power supplies hooked up, our switch is hooked up. I'm not running an interlock switch. I don't think it's necessary on this. Our JAMA harness is in. Wires coming to our monitor. Our video cable is right there, mounted, ready to go. Our wire for our speakers is the small one. Our big wire is going to the marquee light. Blue and black obviously is going to the switch. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Did not get as much done as I wanted to because I spent a lot of time working on the silver ball cabinet off camera. But I'm going to, tomorrow, I'm gonna duplicate this in that cabinet. I'll probably probably put a little bit together tonight. And then by tomorrow when I start videoing again, both cabinets will be in the same position, in the same point, and we'll continue on with putting the marquee lights in. Maybe even the monitor, we'll see what happens. And also I'd really like to get the control panels wired up as well. So we'll see what happens. We still have another wiring harness we have to take off of this one because of the Sinistar. We have a separate wiring harness for the joystick that we got to do. So that's another thing that I have to see if I have a plug for that, or I have to figure out how to make a plug for that. So, all right guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if this type of stuff is helpful to you. If you don't have an idea on how to run a switch or stuff like that, hopefully this will help you out. If you're doing like a JAMA cabinet or something like that, you just want to do it right so that you have everything the way it should be. So basically, here, when you flip the switch on, your power goes to your power supply. Your plug coming from your wall has a ground wire, so your power supply is now grounded. And to be honest with you, I could run that ground wire to the isolation transformer screw that goes in the base, but it doesn't need it. Because I'm gonna run a ground wire to the monitor frame itself. And really that's about it. The marquee lights, they really aren't grounded in these. You could put the strap back on it. There is a strap for it, so we'll put the strap back on it. And then I can tie that strap in down here with the green ground wire. I literally can just tap it into the strap, so that's not an issue either. So thanks everybody for watching. If you wouldn't mind hitting the thumbs up. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys later.